Welcome to the double-click tutorial on completing a DFA 5 outsource trafficking spreadsheet. Your trafficking spreadsheet should tell the story of your campaign and should be an ongoing blueprint representation of what is running in DFA 5. The spreadsheet encompasses the majority of DFA features, but not every column is mandatory. Today we'll focus on only those mandatory columns. How do I fill this out? Don't worry, after completing this session you will have no problem filling out a basic trafficking spreadsheet on your own. We'll break down the spreadsheet into sections for ease. We'll cover the basic required trafficking information as shown in the blue mandatory column headers. Let's get started at the top, where you'll identify who you are, your network, your advertiser, campaign, and run dates. Now let's talk about our color highlighting system. We use specific color highlighting of rows on the spreadsheet to indicate different trafficking actions, such as inactivating an ad or creative, something new to traffic, or to indicate a previously inactivated ad or creative. Color coding is important so that your trafficker knows exactly what it is that you are requesting of them. When you're requesting a new campaign to be entered into DFA, your spreadsheet should have no color coding, since we would be trafficking the entire sheet. It's only when you start optimizing and making changes that color coding will become essential. For example, if you have a new placement or a change to an existing placement, such as a creative swap, then your row should be highlighted in green. Should you want a specific creative inactivated, then you would highlight that row in red. If you had previously inactivated a creative in a past request, then you would change the red to purple. Remember that your spreadsheet should be ongoing and mirror what is in DFA. If your network is enabled for Creative Library and you would like us to use Creative Library for this campaign, please indicate so. It's not necessary for trafficking, but once any ads are activated, we will no longer be able to enable Creative Library. Our first column is the site name, where you will input the publisher website as seen in the example of google.com. In the traffic contact column, list the contact name and email address of the person who should receive our tags at the site. You may also enter any other person you would like us to copy on the tag email. This might even include another person from your agency. Under the Site Placement column, you'll be entering the placement name as agreed upon with the site, along with the creative size and start and end dates of the placement, as seen in the example. In the Creative Type column, please indicate if the creative is Flash, GIF, Rich Media Motif, 1x1 pixel, or Click Command, etc. The creative file name in the next column must be listed exactly as the actual file name reads to avoid implementing the wrong creative. Please remember to include the file extensions such as .gif, .jpeg, .swif, etc. Every Flash file must have an accompanying GIF or JPEG file in the event the user is unable to be served a Flash ad. The last two columns are only mandatory should your creative be a rich media, in which case you would indicate the type of rich media ad and whether we should bill the agency or the publisher. Every banner should have the ability to click through to a landing page. Here is where you would indicate that landing page URL. Should you need to communicate anything further to the traffickers that you don't find a column header for, then go ahead and add it to the trafficking notes. You will find the default ad section at the upper right-hand side of the trafficking spreadsheet. A default ad is the lowest priority ad and is served only in the event that your standard ad is unable to. The default ad ensures that your user will not be served a blank ad. You can only assign one default ad as a GIF or JPEG per size. In other words, each unique size will share the same exact default creative and ad. Be sure to select a GIF or JPEG that is somewhat generic to your campaign, so that, should it serve, it would be appropriate throughout the life of the campaign across all sites. This same principle also applies to the click-through URL or landing page. Let's review. The trafficking spreadsheet tells us how to input your campaign into DART for advertisers. The spreadsheet should be an ongoing history of your campaign. Using our color coding system assists the trafficker in knowing what to traffic on your campaign optimizations. Only the blue highlighted column headers are mandatory. Congratulations, you can now begin to fill out your outsourced trafficking spreadsheet.